Welcome back to the College Football Drive at 5, brought to you by the Steakhouse in Hawkinsville. Coming to you live from the David Limmel Studios. We'll talk a little bit now about the transfer portal. And just saw Kyle Ford, wide receiver from USC, a highly ranked 4-star in the 2019 class, has put himself in the transfer portal. So that's going to be I'm sure that's going to be somebody that some of the teams are looking at right there. Some of the Georgia players went in today. Rylan Goody went in. Jaheim Singletary went in, a 5-star cornerback. Georgia's recruited a lot of defensive backs, cornerbacks in the last 2 cycles. So losing that guy is not the end of the world, but, like Kirby says, you can't have too many corners. Let's see. Will, what are some of the big names in the portal that you've seen?
Recently, I haven't seen any huge names. Of course, we had some new commitments. Saw Chaz's Seminoles got what was it? Cypress, I believe his name was.
Killing it.
Fintrail Cypress.
Yeah.
Cornerback. I think he was a top rated. No, second.
Layoff, of course,
Third. I forgot. Travis Hunter. Top cornerback in the transfer portal going to FSU. That's pretty good. Obviously, saw Sam Hartman is going to Notre Dame. That was a rumor for a while, but it finally happened. Jordan Birch, I saw a couple of days ago. He's going from South Carolina to Oregon. I mean, I think Oregon's do a great job, not just in the transfer portal, also recruiting. I think Dan Lanning's doing a good job building out there.
Dan Lanning had a great relationship with him when he was at Georgia, because it was down between Georgia and South Carolina where Jordan Birch was going to go. So I'm sure that was some residual relationship there with Coach Lanning, and good for him. I think he's going to get a great ball player.
One thing I just saw was interesting. Zach Calzada, he was at A&M, then he transferred to Auburn. Now he's going to go to Incarnate Ward. So, interesting.
Wow.
Okay. The most interesting thing I've seen is that we've seen on 24/7 Sports, Smoke Bowie's been crystal balled to Georgia for probably 2 weeks now, and I'm just curious what's holding him up.
Yeah.
Anything you've seen, Chaz?
Going back to the Kyle Ford thing, Kyle Ford, this highly ranked recruit, wide receiver out of USC, he transferred, but that's not the only USC transfer at wide receiver. His teammate CJ Williams, who is a 4-star coming out of high school, just transferred to Wisconsin. And I checked his recruiting history, and he has no nexus and no ties to Luke Fickell. So maybe he just doesn't like what's going on at USC. I don't know if he wants to, play on a team with the defense. But that is interesting. I don't want to speculate too hard on what's going on, but it's hard to rationalize why a highly ranked wide receiver would leave a Lincoln Riley offense, other than the fact that he wants a good defense to play to benefit him.
I don't know. That is kind of interesting.
Rylan Goody,
yep.
Really high-ranked tight end out of Georgia. He still doesn't know where he's going. A Guy Hall, wide receiver from Texas.
Well, you know where he was before. You know where he was before Texas, right?
Was he Georgia?
No, he was at Alabama. He was the one that Coach Saban called out for not being ready.
Goodness.
He was the one that Saban ran off. Yep, he sure was. Basically, if you listen to Saban, listen to some of the Alabama fans, they're almost saying that it was that guy's fault they didn't win the championship, because he wasn't ready, and he wasn't. That guy was not ready, and he was the one that Saban was talking about that didn't want to put forth the effort in practice and better himself, and then when he got a chance to play, he wasn't prepared. And,
Another guy in the transfer portal is Sam Jackson, TCU's backup quarterback. He's a former 4-star. He's transferring to Cal, which I hate it for TCU because they're losing a whole lot of personnel, and they might take a little step back. But it's not looking good over at TCU. And I think one that might have Mike Norvell cringing a little bit is Malik Feaster, cornerback from Florida State, going to Mike Norvell's former college location, Memphis.
Huh. Interesting.
And so a lot of movement going around. I mean, I'd be interested to see how many there's been 1,753 players entered the transfer portal this offseason so far.
You know, a lot of those guys, some of those guys will stay with the team that they're with right now, you know. Whatever. I see a couple names in here, Chaz, guys that you probably remember. Brett Suther, tight end from Georgia that you played against down in Calvary when he played at CCC.
The guy, Brett Suther, for all our listeners, he was a tight end at Clearwater Central Catholic in Clearwater, Florida. And let me tell you, this guy is an animal. I was really excited when Georgia picked him up because I knew how good of a player he was, and I think that he was underrated as a recruit because he's only a 3-star.
Yeah,
homeboy played like a stud. I don't know where he's going to transfer, but whoever's going to get him is going to get an absolute dog at tight end.
Well, he's coming out of a tight end room there, Georgia. That's just, I mean, you got all Americans in there. You know, another one that you're also familiar with is the left offensive guard for the University of Florida, Ethan White, who also played at Calvary Christian, where you played, Chaz. I think he left your senior year and went somewhere else. If he played, I'm not sure if he played his senior year.
Yeah, that guy is a mammoth of a human.
Yeah, he's a pretty big boy. Pretty big boy.
I never played with him. Thank God I never played against him. But he did all right at Florida. I don't know why he would want to transfer. I mean, he was a starter. And he did all right.
I thought he did good. I watched it quite a bit just because I was interested in seeing how he played. And I thought the guy played. And I'm not going to sit here and rant and rave about any Florida Gator being good or anything. It's like pulling teeth for me to say anything good about the Swamp Lizards. But when I saw him play, I thought the guy, he started for at least 2 years down there. So anyway,
I think it was 3.
May have been 3 years. Yeah. Speaking of Florida, man, there's some drama going on in the Swamp today, man, or this week. Jaden Rashada, quarterback, highly rated 4-star out of Pittsburgh, California, signed his letter of intent in December, was committed to University of Miami for a while, and then all of a sudden, right at the last minute, he signed with Florida. And now he's kind of holding out. Apparently, there's some problems with NIL deals or something. Will, what do you know about that?
Just as much as you, not a whole lot. I think it is a bad situation for Florida to be in. Obviously, I don't think they have a great quarterback room coming in next year. I think there was a good chance Jaden Rashada might start for them next year. But I don't know what else is going on there. The NIL can have an impact in bigger ways than I guess have been seen so far or anticipated, and I think we're going to be, unfortunately, seeing a little more of that as we go. But we'll find out, I guess.
Oh well. I hate it for them.
I think a big transfer we haven't talked about is JT Daniels to Rice.
JT Daniels, man, the guy that we thought that was going to be the one who would lead us to the promised land, is just spreading the JT excitement well throughout the nation. I think. I hate it for him. I think he's a good guy. I thought that he was a great teammate. I thought somebody that really helped out on the team last year with Georgia. But yeah, you're right, man. It seems like with every transfer, it kind of gets like more faint the interest in him.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to get benched and you don't like being the second string, you can transfer and be the third string somewhere else. That's just how it happens. The grass is always greener, it seems like, to these guys.
Keaton Clotis, the one that took his job at USC and then transferred to Pitt, is now in the transfer portal as well.
That's crazy.
I know,
it is.
It is. And I think these guys have to sit out, though. I don't know how that's going to work. I think you get one transfer free, and then the other one's got to sit out.
Well, Keaton Slovis has recently committed to BYU, so it's looking like he's going to go there. And I just saw, I think, some news today. They're changing the rules for a second transfer, which is about time. I think how it works now is, I could be very wrong, but this is my understanding of it. You have one transfer, then after that it has to be for medical reasons or health concerns, or like if you're being physically or otherwise threatened or abused or something of that nature. in that case, you do get a waiver for an immediate second transfer. But I think after that, you may either have to sit out or you won't get your second transfer at all. But again, I wasn't super clear on it, but they are changing rules, which I think is good. I do think they need to set more clear guidelines with some of this stuff, and I think that better benefit the players, because I know a lot of these guys, like I said, Zach Calzada, he was your starting quarterback at A&M 2 years ago. Now he's going to Incarnate Word. Like you said with J.T. Daniels, he was at Georgia, and now he's going to be going to Rice, a team that barely made a bowl game only because of their stellar academics. I think a little more structure will be good for the teams, the sport itself, and ultimately the players, because I mean that's what it's about. Don't let these guys make awful decisions like I said. JT, I think he's a good case study there, because he obviously had struggles at USC, but and then he came to Georgia, had struggles there, and then I mean, you don't anticipate a guy like that, a talent like that, struggling at West Virginia, but then he did, and now he goes to Rice. So best of luck to him. But I think the ability to transfer has actually ultimately failed him in this process. I don't know if he's a huge name that you know, Chaz, but Marshawn Lloyd, I believe. We were talking about USC earlier. He's the USC junior, South Carolina.
Yep.
He's actually traveling out to the Trojans. So.
He's going to the other USC.
Committed to USC senior.
Oh.
So we'll see how that works out too.
It's another highly contested recruit there.
Yeah, he didn't put up a whole lot of just raw numbers last season, but I think he's a good talent. I think he has some potential. I'm not sure what the Travis Dye situation is at Southern California. I don't know if he's still hurt, if he's going to the draft. I'm not sure if he's eligible. But it's going to be interesting having another running back there in the backfield. I do see that USC is getting a bunch of transfers, but a lot of them are offensive guys, unfortunately, for that team. And it's not shocking considering Lincoln Riley's philosophy when it comes to playing football. He's like, hey, we'll try and outscore them and pray they screw up.
And on the topic of this USC dichotomy of a great defense and a great offense and no defense, Lincoln Riley made the decision to keep Alex Grinch, his defensive coordinator, who was his defense coordinator at Oklahoma.
Wow.
He's going to be coaching again with the Trojans next season. I don't know why. I don't know what kind of wisdom lies within that decision. But he will be there, so we can expect little to no change on the defensive side of the ball next season at USC.
I probably won't be picking USC in our pick'ems.
I think you're looking at a lack of wisdom as opposed to any sort of traditional wisdom there. I mean, they are picking up some decent. If you're looking at a star rating, they're picking up some decent defensive guys. They're picking up Anthony Lucas from A&M. He's a 4-star defensive lineman. They're getting Mason Cobb. He was a really good linebacker for Oklahoma State. And they're getting a 4-star cornerback from Arizona. But again, we'll see what they can do. I don't think the talent matters so much if you have the wrong coaches, because a lot of USC's struggles, in my opinion, could be solved with simple learning how to tackle. I think
they could not tackle and save their life.
I think they win that two-lane game if they just make 2 more tackles. Yeah, that's how close that game was.
I think you're right. Yep. Well, we're up against a break right now. We're going to take about 2.5 and come back here. Listen to the college football Drive at 5 on the XL Sports Network, brought to you by the Steakhouse in Hawkinsville. We're back in 2.5.
This is Pulaski County's online radio station, The River, where the music flows.
50 years ago, Jack and Claudia Fowler started the Steakhouse restaurant in Hawkinsville. And for the last 33 years, their son, Lewis Fowler, has continued the proud tradition of providing Middle Georgians with the best Southern food around. Join Lewis in 2022 for the 50th anniversary and enjoy the daily specials or the daily lunch buffet, the super Sunday buffet after church, or the special Thursday night buffet. For the best steaks and the best fried chicken in Georgia, go to the Steakhouse restaurant on the Highway 341 bypass in Hawkinsville.
One of the most important words you can use is the word no. No, I won't take your drug test. No, I won't have anything to tell you, officer. No, I don't care to balance on one leg, because I've heard it could hurt my legal defense. Hi, I'm Attorney David Venable. If the boys in blue have you detained, the best time to call a lawyer is ASAP.
He's the big city lawyer with small town charm. David Venable, attorney at law. Call 478-783-2825.
The answer to your insurance needs is simple. The Grimsley Agency. No matter your needs, life, auto, or home, it's the Grimsley Agency. You can trust Danny Grimsley and his staff with great coverage for your whole family. New car or home, the answer is the same. The Grimsley Agency. Give them a call at 783-2581 or see them at 203 Commerce Street, Hawkinsville. Proud supporters of all Red Devil athletics.